Hello, grade 5. How are you today? This is Mr. Adam.
And this is Miss May.
Today we're going to study English grammar. Hope you're ready. Let's go. Alright, today's Wednesday, the 18th of March, 2020. We are studying English. You are grade 5. And we are on Unit 7, Time Detectives. Today we'll study first conditional, interrogative. This just means to make questions. And we will be on page 97. First, we will do a review. Then we will learn about the form of first conditional, interrogative. And finally, we'll do some exercises. Okay, let's continue. Let's begin our review of last week's lesson. First conditional. So we use first conditional to express predictions, future possibilities, and warnings. We have two clauses in the first conditional. We have an if clause. And remember, the verb is in present tense, if clause, and the result clause, and the verb is in future tense. Also remember, the if clause could be first, or the result clause could be first. If the if clause is first, we have a comma. If the result clause is first, we do not have a comma. All right? And rule of thumb. So this is how we make it. If the subject of our sentence and verb, and this will be in simple present. So this is our if clause on the top line. And see, we have the comma. The bottom line is our result clause. Subject, so the same subject, will, verb. Okay? Review. First conditional. Okay, let's look at the picture. What's she doing? Okay, she's studying. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. So we can see we have our if clause at the beginning in present tense. If you study, study is in present tense because it's in the if clause. If you study hard, comma, you will pass the exam. You see the second half? The result clause, you will pass, will makes it future. You will pass the exam. Very good. Study, present tense, because it's in the if clause. Remember, clause is just part of the sentence. Okay, so this sentence has two parts. The if clause, and then we have a comma, and we have the result clause. All right, well done. Remember the result clause, future tense. Great job. Form of first conditional, interrogative. Remember, this means question, make a question. So how do we make a sentence? We can begin with if, and then we add in simple present tense our subject and verb. Okay, if, subject, verb. Nice and easy. And then we have our comma. After our if clause, we have the comma. Okay? If, subject, verb. That's all. And a comma. Then we have our question word. Our question word could be what, where, when, who, which. Okay? Our question word. And then will. Remember, because this clause is in future tense. Subject and verb. Just like here. Subject, verb, same. Our verb is in base form because we have will. And will makes it future. Okay? So, if, subject, verb. This is our if clause. We have a comma at the end of the if clause. question word, will subject verb, okay? And at the end of this we have our question mark. Alright, and now we'll show you how we do it if we swap it around, because we can start with the result or the main clause. Here we started with the if clause, but we can start with the result. We can call this the result clause or the main clause. Okay, so let's put the main clause at the beginning. So we start with the question word and then will subject verb, okay? And then you see we have no comma. The if clause goes second, we have no comma. All right, so we have our question word, will subject verb. This is our main clause. And then if, and then simple present tense, subject verb, okay? And our question mark at the end. It's nice and easy. Just need to remember that when the if clause is at the beginning, we have a comma. If the if clause is at the end, we do not have a comma. Okay, and the main clause, future tense, if clause, simple present tense. Okay, take a good look. All right, look at this guy. What does he want? If he feels hungry, what will he eat? Okay, if he feels hungry, if clause, what will he eat? Our main clause. If clause, result, main clause. Remember the tenses. If clause, we have present tense. The result or main clause, we can call it result clause or main clause. We have will, so it's future. Will he eat? Or we can have the main clause at the beginning, and we begin with the question word. In this case, the question word is what? What will he eat if he feels hungry? So remember, like last time, if we have the result or main clause at the beginning, we have no comma. What will he eat if he feels hungry? And of course, we need our question mark because it's a question. So, what will he eat? Our main clause, future tense, if he feels hungry. If clause, present tense. Very good. And here is an example answer. He will eat chicken if he feels hungry. Okay, so it's first conditional, but not a question. He will eat chicken if he feels hungry. So you can see we have our result here. He will eat chicken, our result, which is in future tense, will eat. If he feels hungry, if clause, if he feels hungry. So we have simple present tense, and again, no comma. Okay, great job, well done. Let's continue. Can you make a question? Oh, look at this boy. His battery is low. I think he's tired. He feels tired. We're going to make a question. We're going to begin with the question word, what? I'm going to give you some time and I want you to try to make a question about the boy. Okay? So, he feels tired. He feels tired. This will be our if clause. If he feels tired. Okay? So this will be second. Can you make a question? Did you manage to make a question? Well done. Great try. Okay, let's look at an example answer. What will he do if he feels tired? Well done. So we begin with the question word. So we begin with the main clause. which will be in future tense. If we begin with our question word, we will have will. What will he do? He, the boy. What will he do? And then we go on to our if clause. If he feels tired. He feels tired. If he feels tired, what will he do? Great job. And I want you to make another question, and it will be the same structure. The sentence will have the same structure. Okay, we're starting with the question word when, so we know we begin with the main clause. So the first part will be in future tense, and then the if clause will be in present tense. The if clause will be the same. Okay, so can you make a question for me? Did you make a question? Great job. Let's look at our example. Okay, when will he go to bed? If he feels tired. So when will he go to bed is our main clause. We begin with the question word. We have future tense, so will. When will? What will? Okay, when will he go to bed? And from if is the if clause, so it's present tense. If he feels tired. Okay, very, very good. Well done. Okay, now we have a little task. Match two clauses. Remember, clauses are just parts of the sentence. Match two clauses to complete the first conditional sentences. Okay, so we have, if you decide to eat out, if you are late, if you want to relax after class. You can see in red is the verb, and can you tell me what tense the verb is in? That's right, well done, present tense, because it's the if clause. If present tense, if present tense, if present tense. Okay, and then we have our main clauses here. You see they all begin with the question word, and they're in future tense. What will your teacher say? What will you watch on TV? Which restaurant will you go? Okay, so remember we have will, and see our verb in base form here, and our question mark at the end. Okay, the question mark goes on the main clause if it's at the end, always at the end. Okay, I'll help you do the first one, and then you can do the next two by yourself. Okay, if you decide to eat out, which one do you think matches eat out? It means go and have dinner, but not at home. Where do you eat? That's right, nice and easy, at a restaurant. If you decide to eat out, comma, which restaurant will you go? Okay, if you decide to eat out, if clause, comma, remember present tense, which restaurant will you go? Which one will you go to? Okay, so remember future tense here, will you go? Can you do the next two, please? I'll give you 10 seconds. How did you do? Let's check our answers. So if you are late, our if clause, that goes with what will your teacher say? What will your teacher say if you are late? If you are late, what will your teacher say? Remember, we can also change them around. Okay, great. And the last one is, if you want to relax after class, what will you watch on TV? Okay, If you want to relax after class, you watch TV. What will you watch? What will you watch on TV? Okay, our answers are all in future tense. Okay, the if clause, present tense. Okay, and if the if clause is at the beginning, remember, comma, comma, comma. If the main clause is at the beginning, we have no comma. Okay, very good, students. Let's continue. Okay, exercise time. Alright, so we're going to be on page 97 in our student book. We'll read, listen, and match the questions with the answers. Alright, here we go. So let's read through these. Number 1, question 1. What will happen to the pharaoh's body when he dies? So we have what is our question word. This is what I want you to look at. Look for the question word. And then look, after the question word, we have our future tense. Future tense verb. What will happen? What will happen? Future tense will, and then our verb. What will happen to the pharaoh's body when he dies? 2. Where will the two parts of his soul go? Okay, so where is our question word? Will, to show it's in future tense. The two parts of his body is a subject. Sometimes the subject is just one word, like he. But here the subject is the two parts of his soul. Okay? Where will the two parts of his soul go? Okay? Number 3. Our question word is what will he do? What will he do if he wants to remember his past life? You can see the if clause here. If he wants to remember his past life. Present tense. What will he do? Future tense. Alright, very good. Number 4. If the pharaoh feels hungry, comma, what will he eat? So here we start with the if clause. We have the comma because we started with the if clause, and then we have the main clause. What will he eat? Okay, future tense. Number 5. Same again. We begin with the if clause, so it's present tense. If he feels hot inside the tomb, comma, what will he do? Future tense. What will he do? Number 6. Who? Question word here is who. Who will he talk to if he's lonely? So this one would begin with our main clause. Who will he talk to? Okay, this is like the question part. Who will he talk to? And then we have the if clause. If he's lonely? Question mark. Okay, very good. Number 7. If the pharaoh gets bored, what will he do? Okay, so we start with the if clause, present tense. If the pharaoh gets bored, comma, what will he do? Alright, good job. Here's our answers. I'll read the answers quickly and then we'll listen, okay? He will talk to his servants. There will be statues of them in his tomb. He will look at paintings on the walls of his tomb. They will show scenes from his past life. He will use a fan of ostrich feathers to cool himself. There will be games inside the tomb, and the trumpet too. During the day, Ka will fly to heaven, and Ba will look after his living family. At night, they both return to the tomb to rest and prepare for the next day. Embalmers will preserve his body. Then they will put it in a stone sarcophagus. There will be food in the tomb for him to eat. Okay, now I want you to listen all the way through one time. Listen very carefully and then we will listen a second time, okay, and check the answers. So first time, listen very carefully and please try to get the answers, and we'll listen one more time to make sure you have them all. Okay.
Track 62. Listen and check your answers, then act out the dialogue.
Daddy, can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
What will happen to the pharaoh's body when he dies?
Embalmers will preserve his body. Then they will put it in a stone sarcophagus.
Where will the two parts of his soul go?
During the day, Ka will fly to heaven, and Ba will look after his living family. At night, they will both return to the tomb to rest and prepare for the next day.
What will he do if he wants to remember his past life?
He will look at paintings on the walls of his tomb. They will show scenes from his past life.
If the pharaoh feels hungry, what will he eat?
There will be food in the tomb for him to eat.
If he feels hot inside the tomb, what will he do?
He will use a fan of ostrich feathers to cool himself.
Who will he talk to if he is lonely?
He will talk to his servants. There will be statues of them in his tomb.
If the pharaoh gets bored, what will he do?
There will be games inside the tomb, and a trumpet too.
Okay, well done. Good listening. Now we'll check all of the answers. Okay, let's begin with number 1.
Track 62. Listen and check your answers, then act out the dialogue.
Daddy, can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
What will happen to the pharaoh's body when he dies?
Embalmers will preserve his body.
Okay, so number 1, what will happen to the pharaoh's body when he dies? Embalmers will preserve his body. Then they will put it in a stone sarcophagus.
Then they will put it in a stone sarcophagus.
Where will the two parts of his soul go?
During the day, Ka will fly to heaven, and Ba will look after his living family. At night, they will both return to the tomb to rest and prepare for the next day.
Okay, well done. Number 2, did you get that? Very good. Let's listen to check for number 3.
What will he do if he wants to remember his past life?
He will look at paintings on the walls of his tomb. They will show scenes from his past life.
Number 3, did you get that? Great job, well done. Next one, number 4.
If the pharaoh feels hungry, what will he eat?
There will be food in the tomb for him to eat.
And number 4, did you get number 4? Very good. Number 5, listen closely.
If he feels hot inside the tomb, what will he do?
He will use a fan of ostrich feathers to cool himself.
Okay. Number 5, did you get number 5? Very good, well done. Number 6, listen carefully.
Who will he talk to if he is lonely?
He will talk to his servants. There will be statues of them in his tomb.
Okay, did you get that? Number 6? Great job, good work. And let's listen to the last one.
If the pharaoh gets bored, what will he do?
There will be games inside the tomb, and a trumpet too.
Well, trumpet. Very good. Number 7? Finished. Very good. Remember to write down all of the answers in your book, please. Okay, great. Let's move on to the next one. Read and complete Rebecca's questions. Practice book, page 90. All right, number 1. Your teacher may be sick tomorrow. So this is our statement, and we're going to make it into a question. Okay. Your teacher may be sick tomorrow. I hope not. What will you do if your teacher is sick tomorrow? So we've used this information here. Your teacher may be sick tomorrow. And we've made a question with it. What will you do if your teacher is sick tomorrow? Okay, we'll do one more for an example. Okay, we see. What will you do? Because we have our question word at the beginning of all of these questions. We have our question word, and then we know it will be future tense because it's our main clause. What will you do? If your teacher is sick tomorrow, you see, is because our teacher, just one, is sick tomorrow. Okay. I'll help you do number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Can you please do by yourself? So, you may miss the school bus. Okay, so our question word is what. So we need to make a question with what. We can have many different answers, okay? So you can choose a different answer to mine. You may miss the school bus. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a question here, what? And we could do almost the same. What will you do? What will you do if? Then we have our if clause. If you miss the school bus. Our if clause. If you miss the school bus. Okay, what will happen if you miss the school bus? What will you do if your teacher is sick tomorrow? Okay, I want you to try to do 3, 4, and 5 by yourself. The information here, you may forget your homework. You put this into the if clause. Okay, you may have toothache. Put it into your if clause. You may lose your English book. Put it in your if clause. Okay, we begin with our question word. Then we'll have will, future tense. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to do 3, 4, and 5. All right, good luck. Okay, did you make 3 questions for me? All right, as I said, you can make your own answer. Many different answers you can do. Many different questions you can make. Okay, I will give you an example for what I wrote. You do not have to do the same one. Okay, number 3, you may forget your homework. What will you do if you forget your homework? So same as the first one. What will you do? That's okay. What will you do? Main clause, what will you do? If clause, if you forget your homework. Okay, number 4, you may have a toothache. What will you do? What will you do if you have toothache? What will you do? Will you eat ice cream? I would not do that. What will you do if you have toothache? Oh, we could say, I will go to the dentist. You may have toothache. What will you do if you have toothache? Very good. And last one, number 5. You may lose your English books. So what question could we make here? What will you say? What will you say to your teacher if you lose your English books? Okay, so you do not have to have the same answer as me, but make sure you write your full answer in the book, please, for every question. Okay, very good job. Now we'll move to the next question, students. Okay. Answer the questions about yourself in page 90, practice book. Okay, so we have 3 questions, and you have to write the answer about yourself. So you cannot copy off my answer. You need to make your own. All right. Number 1, I will ask Miss Me, question number 1. Hello, Miss Me.
Hello.
What will you do if your parents don't let you go out on the weekend?
I will stay at home and finish all my homework.
Very good, student. She said, I will stay at home and finish all of my homework. I will stay. See? Future tense, I will stay at home and finish all of my homework. Okay. I want you to write your own answer for number 1 and think of an answer for number 2 and number 3. Okay? And now we have finished. Our homework is to complete the exercises. Student book, page 97. Pupil practice book, page 90. Okay. Thank you very much for listening. You've done very well today. Remember to review, revise, and do all of your homework. See you again soon. Goodbye.